All right, let's do a 20-question quiz on the integumentary system. Question 1. Which of the following is not a function of the integumentary system? Excretion, thermoregulation, blood sugar regulation, synthesis. Blood sugar regulation. The integumentary system is made up of the skin, glands, nails, and hair. There are several functions performed by the integumentary system, including protection. The skin serves as a physical barrier to environmental factors. Thermoregulation. When the body heat increases, the body vessels closest to the skin surface dilate and you sweat to cool off. Hydroregulation. Skin is waterproof, so it helps to protect the body from drying out. Sensation. Sensory receptors are present in the skin. Synthesis. The skin synthesizes vitamin D, keratin, and melanin. And cutaneous absorption. Certain substances can be absorbed from the skin. And excretion. Certain waste substances are excreted via sweat. Blood sugar regulation is a function of the endocrine system and not of the integumentary system. Next question. Which of the following statements about the skin is correct? The dermis is superficial and has 5 layers. The epidermis is deep and has 5 layers. The epidermis is superficial and has 2 layers. The dermis is deep and has 2 layers. See? The dermis is deep and has 2 layers. The skin is made up of the outer superficial epidermis and that has 5 layers, and the deeper dermis that has 2 layers. The layers of the epidermis from superficial to deep are stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, stratum basale. A great way to remember it: come, let's get sunburned. The layers of the dermis from the superficial to the deep are the papillary layer and the reticular layer. Next question. Which of the following is not found in the epidermis? Is it keratinocyte, blood vessel, melanocyte, or Langerhans cells? The answer is blood vessels. The epidermis is the outer superficial layer of the skin that has 5 layers. It does not contain blood vessels. Cells that are found in the epidermis include keratinocytes, melanocytes, Langerhans cells. Next question. The layer of skin that contains a high number of blood vessels as well as elastic and collagen fibers is the layer of skin that contains a high number of blood vessels as well as elastic and collagen fibers is the, let's check. Oh, it's the dermis. The dermis is the layer of skin that has a high number of blood vessels and is also rich in elastic and collagen fibers. It is divided into 2 layers, the superficial papillary layer and the deeper reticular area. Next question. Which of the following is not found in the dermis? Is it the sebaceous gland, Langerhans cells, sensory receptors, or nerves? Not found in the dermis. Let's see, is it sebaceous gland? Oh, it's in Langerhans cells. Okay, the dermis is a layer of the skin that has a high number of blood vessels and is also rich in elastic and collagen fibers. They also contain sensory receptors, nerves, sweat glands, hair, sebaceous glands, and lymphatic vessels. The dermis is divided into 2 layers, the superficial and the deeper reticular area. Langerhans cells are found in the epidermis, not in the dermis. All right, next question. Which of the following correctly describes the functions of the epidermis? Physical barrier, biological barrier, and waterproofing. Physical barrier, waterproofing, and sweat production. Sensation, waterproofing, and sebum production. Sweat production, sebum production, and sensation. Epidermis and dermis. Let's see. Physical barrier, biological barrier, and waterproofing. The epidermis is mainly made up of keratinocytes, which produce the keratin that strengthens the skin and makes it waterproof. Langerhans cells in the epidermis help to ward off pathogens. The functions of the epidermis are physical protection, biological protection, waterproofing, and sensation. The functions of the dermis are supporting the epidermis by supplying the basal layer with nutrients, sweat production, sebum production, cushioning of the body, thermoregulation, and deference. Immune cells are also present in the dermis, which help to ward off infections. Next question. Which of the following represents the correct order of the layers of the epidermis from the deepest to the most superficial layer? Remember, come, let's get sunburned. Which of the following represents the correct order of the layer from the epidermis from the deepest to the most superficial? So now we're going backwards. Instead of superficial to come, let's get sunburned, it's from superficial to deeper. So now we have to go backwards, which would be let's get sunburned. Instead of that, it would be let's check that. Correct. So from deepest to most superficial, which is the opposite of come, let's get sunburned, it is stratum basal, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and stratum corneum. So next question. Which layer of the epidermis contains flattened polygonal cells? Is it the stratum spinosum, stratum basal, stratum corneum, or stratum granulosum? Flattened. Let's check. It is the stratum granulosum. Stratum granulosum, the keratinocytes are flattened and polygonal in shape. Stratum basal is the deepest layer that contains cuboidal keratinocytes with large nuclei. This is the layer where mitosis continues. Stratum spinosum is the keratinocytes and are polyhedral, so that's the correct answer. Which part of the skin contains melanocytes? Which part of the skin contains melanocytes? Is it stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum germinativum? Let's check. It's the stratum germinativum. So melanocytes are found in the basal layer, stratum germinativum. They produce melanin, which is responsible for the color of the skin. Although all races have similar numbers of melanocytes, the amount of melanin produced varies, and this accounts for the various complexions. The melanocytes also act as the barriers for UV light. Next question. The darker pigment which protects us from UV rays is melanin. Sorry, I had an ant here. Although melanin, keratin, and hemoglobin all contribute to the color of the skin, melanin plays the greatest role. In addition to melatonin, protects the body from harmful UV light. Okay, UV rays. Next question. What connects the skin to the superficial muscles? Is it the dermis, hypodermis, tendon, or ligament? Let's see if it's the hypodermis. The hypodermis is the subcutaneous tissue found below the dermis. It connects the skin to the fascia covering the muscles. The hypodermis is rich in collagen and adipose tissue. The dermis is a layer of the skin that has a high number of blood vessels and is also rich in elastic and collagen fibers. Next question. Which of the following statements concerning eccrine sweat glands is incorrect? Which of the following statements concerning eccrine sweat glands is incorrect? Are they responsible for thermoregulation? They produce clear sweat. They are found in the auditory canal. They are the most common type of sweat gland. The answer is they are found in the auditory canal. That is incorrect. Eccrine sweat glands are coiled tubular glands. They open up for service of the skin. They are located all over the body except in the following regions: leaps, auditory canal, and perineum. All right, next question. Apocrine sweat glands are found in the back, axilla, and perineal area, become active during puberty, open up to surface of the skin, or regulate body temperature. Apocrine glands become active during puberty. They are tubular glands. They open into hair follicles and become active during puberty. They are found in the armpit area, areola, and perineal region. They play a role in the body odor because bacteria break down their secretion, which produces compounds responsible for the smell. Next question, what is the function of ceremonous gland? To lubricate the inner ear, thermoregulation, body odor, to protect the outer ear. The answer is to protect the outer ear. The ceremonous gland is a type of modified apocrine sweat gland found in the external auditory canal. It produces ceremin that lubricates the ear, protects the lymphatic membrane, and protects the ear from microbes. Thermoregulation is a function of the eccrine sweat glands. Ceremonous glands lubricate the outer ear, not the inner ear, and apocrine glands are responsible for body odor. Sebaceous glands are absent in the face, palms, scalp, groin. The answer is palms. Sebaceous glands are exocrine glands found in the skin. They are absent in the palms and in the soles. Next question. Fingernails are rich in protein called keratin, cuticle, melanin, or lunula. The answer is keratin. Nails, just like hair, are a skin appendage. They are rich in keratin. Next question. A doctor explaining whether a mole has transformed into a melanoma checks for the following: asymmetry, base, crusting, diameter, and evolution; asymmetry, border, crusting, diameter, and evolution; symmetry, base, color, diameter, and evolution; asymmetry, border, color, diameter, and evolution. And the answer is asymmetry, border, color, diameter, and evolution. Remember ABCD. E. ABCD is a guide used to examine the skin lesions when detecting the presence of melanoma. It stands for asymmetry of the lesion, border, color, diameter greater than 6 millimeters, and evolution. Next question. People with albinism are prone to skin cancer because they are fair, they lack melanin, they lack melanocytes, they lack stratum corneum. The answer is they lack melanin. UV light damages the skin and makes individuals prone to cancer. Melanin protects the skin from the harmful effects of UV rays. People with albinism do not lack melanocytes. Rather, they have a genetic defect that makes them unable to produce melanin. Next question. Which part of the body is likely to have a thin layer of stratum corneum? Is it the forehead, eyelid, knees, or heels? The answer is eyelid. The stratum corneum has multiple layers of skin. The palms, soles of the feet, and knees have thick layers of stratum corneum. This is because the cells of the skin of these areas divide more frequently in response to pressure and friction. The eyelids and genitals are more likely to have thin stratum corneum as they do not experience the same pressure and friction as the palms, soles of feet, and knees on a regular basis. Next question. Individuals who stay indoors may suffer from a deficiency in vitamin D, B, A, or K. The answer is vitamin D. UV rays convert UV rays are turned into vitamin D, and the body converts vitamin D to its active forms by the liver and kidney. Individuals who stay indoors without dietary supplements are at great risk of a vitamin D deficiency. All right, let's finish the quiz and see how we did. All right, we got 80%. Great. Let's go on to the next quiz, guys.